Welcome to Jablam Hockey, folks. I'm your host, Peter Bojarinov. You can find us at Jablam Hockey, but you can find me specifically at Russian98, and I am with
Conner Rowntree. You can find me personally at the Sport Tree. Peter, how you doing tonight?
I'm feeling very, can I say crappy at least? Crappy?
Yeah, say that.
Yeah, we're recording this. I don't even know what time it is. It's like almost 11. Basically, if you've been following me even on Twitter, again, at Russian98, I've been going haywire because my internet has been down since Thursday. It's been 5 days now without internet. I feel like I'm stuck in like the 1940s. I can't say what I was trying to do, trying to find the internet, but I mean, I don't have internet anywhere, Connor. Nothing. You don't even know. When's the last time you went a certain duration without internet, and how was that for you?
Oh man. Oh, woo.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely
5 hours, 6 hours, what?
I actually can't think of the last time I didn't have internet for a day.
Yeah.
I couldn't live. I don't know. No Netflix and chill.
Yeah.
No, I can't look up hockey stats. I can't work realistically. Somehow we're doing this.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I wouldn't be able to function. If I was you, I'd be at the point of rioting. I'd be probably outside every Rogers store, pitching up a tent, burning some fires, some protest signs going.
We might have to take out who the provider is. That might be tough sledding. Yeah. I haven't had it for 5 days. It's been rough. I've been trying to do as much as I can on my phone. That's about it, but it's been really tough. Even our Team ISO later on in the episode, hopefully we'll be able to record it. We might be doing some TV magic to maybe question, answer in different ways. So yeah, especially trying to do this show, it's been rough, but as well, using my internet to get like Netflix and stuff on TV. I was already punching myself because I couldn't see last night's Star Trek. I'm like, I missed trying to record it because we're trying to do the meetings and stuff last night. And then I missed that, and I'm like, can't use the internet. Yeah, so I won't be able to see the episode until whenever I get internet, whenever that is, the next golden age. All right, let's move on. Okay, what do we have this episode? We are doing some cool new things. We'll try to do the Team ISO, like I said, LA Kings this episode, with guest Jesse Cohen from the official LA Kings podcast. We'll be trying a new version of the Compare
2.0,
as Connor likes to call it. And then we'll do some quick Saturday's picks and the friendly bet that we did the poll for later in the episode. But first, trending now. All right. The Leafs go and sign back Roman the Warrior Polak. 1 million? 1.1? Connor, what do you think?
I like it. I think the Leafs, just a presence that knows Babcock, knows the organization, easy to bring in. Obviously, it's been a nice transition. Played tonight even. Got pretty close to scoring a goal.
Yeah.
So good for Polak. Welcome back to the organization. No, I don't think he's a great defenseman in any way, but I think it's a nice piece until guys like Connor Carrick are ready to come back, and until they can cement that sixth, their starting six defenders. I think Polak is just he's a nice little Lego brick to put on top there.
Yeah, he's still a third pairing type guy. We already know he's kind of slow, a little bit clunky, but at the same time, I really feel that he played really well down the stretch last year. I thought he played very good in the last month especially, and in the playoffs before he got injured. The gruesome injury, and we hope he's 100%. It looks like he is, and if it doesn't slow him down any further, it's not that bad to have Roman Polak on your third pairing, a physical bruising guy back there to help protect your goalie and create in the crease, clear the crease. So I do kind of like Polak, but the other instance, this is where I kind of don't like Polak. I'm a huge Conner Carrick fan. I like Conner Carrick. I want to see more of Conner Carrick. I feel that he deserves, at this point now, to get even more ice time. I'd like to see him. I know Babcock loves his 4 forwards on the power play usually. But I would like to see Carrick maybe get some more power play time. Maybe a little bit. I thought he did really well last year with Gardner.
I thought he played really well too. I don't think that the addition of Polak will take away from Carrick's ice time. I think it'll be more of a natural transition when Carrick is ready to play and comes back.
Yeah.
But as far as for the power play minutes go, it's really tough because, as you said, the Leafs like to run with the 4 forwards. It's proven to be more effective. Most of the higher scoring teams do it. Penguins, Blackhawks, you name it.
Wait. Are you saying it's very proven, especially when the Leafs allow a 5-on-3 or 3-on-5 power killing?
I said there's lots of goals scored. I didn't say what team's scoring goals. I said there's lots of goals scored.
Yeah.
But no, it's going to be tough for Conner Carrick to see power play minutes in tight games, especially when you have Jake Gardner, Morgan Riley, those 2 guys. Those are definitely my 1-2. But if they get up in a game, if late in the third period, a 5-2 game, why not give Carrick some power play minutes? Let him quarterback that power play. A little more development, give him a little more ice time, a higher role. I understand what you're saying.
I still feel he has a lot more to showcase his talent offensively, in my opinion. So I'm hoping that doesn't stunt at least his ice time with Polak joining. But I do like the Polak signing to shore up the back end, because maybe the Finnish twins, Rosen and the Borgman, aren't maybe fully ready. So maybe that does that. But also check out my Twitter again, where I had a little bickerment with one of our bloggers, Ian, on Twitter at We Sell Hate, I believe, Ian. You love that nickname because he is a bit of the hater. So check him out on Twitter because he likes to hate a lot. And maybe we had a little bit of an argument earlier. And you can check that out as well. And there'll be further ones with Connor I and Ian. And, that'll be great too.
We've been there.
All right. But again, since Polak's in, they had to shuffle up. And as I like to call him, the old man fare, he's the odd man out. He gets basically sent down, and he should clear waivers and everything because he makes $2 million for a guy that's barely on a 4th line.
Yeah, no, he lost that battle with Dominic Moore for the 4th line center. That's clear now after the addition of Polak and seeing Fair get sent down. But I think it's all in due time. Fair's been solid throughout his career, but eventually you get on that other side of 30, you're going to start seeing ice decrease. You're going to start seeing, I guess, NHL time decrease.
Yeah, sometimes when I watch Fair, I don't know if he's 31 or 61. Maybe he got old a little too quick. He does look like he's lost a step fairly early, I think, in his career for some player.
Fairly? I like what you did there.
Yeah. So, yeah, I like the guy. But again, he's maybe not... the Leafs are trying to move in the direction as a contender, and I don't know if Fair fits.
No, definitely not. But speaking of guys that still have some age that can score... Tonight, Jumbo Joe Thornton. Congratulations, Joe. You have moved up to the 20th of all-time NHL scoring with your 1,348 point, tying you with Yari Curry. So congratulations, Jumbo Joe. Obviously, he got an assist tonight, because that's all he ever does. The Sharks were in the Big Apple taking on the Rangers, and they left New York 4-1.
Wow.
Winners. So congratulations to Jumbo Joe.
Yeah. How much more do you think Jumbo has to give? That was a really, really nasty ACL, MCL, and it just seemed like the whole knee almost exploded for him. And he played a few games on that stringy knee.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. He's proven that he can play through injuries. He's proven that throughout his career. He's been a staple now on San Jose for almost a decade. Before that, obviously, the captain of the Boston Bruins. So he's been around the league. So I don't think that it's so much an injury plague that will bring down Thornton as just age and time. He'll get worn down, but I still think he's got another. I'd see him breaking 50 points this year.
Wow! So if he does break 50 points, he should jump up Dale Hawerchuk, who is 19th at 1409, Dougie Gilmore, 1414, Adam Oates, 1420, Trottier, 425, and Solani is at 14 57. So he probably won't catch Sloney, but he can jump like 4 more guys this season.
Yeah, and then he's still got a couple years left, so it wouldn't be a shocker to me if he got up to that 16th spot in the next 2 seasons.
At least. So good Jumbo Joe, but I hope not to see the rooster trick.
Oh, goodness
Yeah.
gracious.
Okay, moving on. Detroit update. So Detroit goes and finally re-signs Athanasiou, and that means they're going to make some moves. Athanasiou signs for roughly 1.387. I'm not going to go into all the digits like a pi number. So he does that. So that means they have to make some shuffles because, well, with injuries, they're still somewhat close to the cap, and that means they ship off Mr. Riley Sheahan. Hi, uncle and auntie. I met them last year when I was at the game, so it was cool meeting at the Joe. So it was really cool.
I played on that ice once.
Yeah?
Yeah, fun story.
Nice.
Different time, though. We'll save that.
Yeah. So Sheahan goes to the Penguins, who are slightly depleted in the center area because Bonino's gone and Matt Cullen's gone.
Bayer's gone. We just mentioned him. He's in Toronto.
That is true. So hopefully maybe he can fit the bill on that third line, but hopefully they can help him bring back that offense that we all know he played pretty much all last season. And then when did he score?
Oh, very last game, baby. 2 goals. Woo! After that stellar rookie campaign, he goes out and pots 0 goals for the first 81 and then decides to show up against the Devils.
Yeah, that reminded me of that one year when the Leafs were trying, as per usual, not to get points so they could fall down a few steps, and then in comes Boyd Devereaux and puts up like 4 points that one game on the last game of the season. Like, where were you all year? And why are you ruining us and dropping us down like 2 spots because we want to go Tank City? But yeah, it happens. So good luck. Sheahan now in the Pens jersey. In goes Scott Wilson now to get a bit more of a gritty player for the Wings on the depth, and hopefully Athanasiou can play. I think he's got tons of skill.
Oh, yeah.
So that's good that they have him in the lineup, and hopefully he can grow. I enjoyed watching him play even last year.
Well, and Sheehan too. I think a good move for the Penguins would be obviously have him on that third line centering it and put him with Crosby on the power play. Get him offensive, get those sparks going again, because we've seen his talent. We've saw it all in that whole rookie season. He was lights out, at least for rookie standards. And if he can get clicking with Crosby, you never know where the point totals will go. But speaking about players going down the middle of the ice, centerman, a big shout out to Brian Boyle. He will officially play his first game, yes, this week. Since being diagnosed with cancer, this is a Brian Boyle St. Pat's jersey from last year. I've always loved the guy. Yes, he was only a Maple Leaf for a season, but he'll always be a Maple Leaf in my heart. I loved him when he was on the Rangers. Big guy, makes hits, blocks the shots, scores the goals. Always loved Brian Boyle.
He's a little dirty sometimes too.
Yeah, I like that though. Little dirty though. He doesn't go over.
No,
He's not like Dustin Brown tonight hitting Matthews in the face.
Oh yeah, or Quick was really rough, so we might
Quick belonged in Los Angeles tonight. Just let's get into this episode and let's get me going on some Johnny Quick.
All right before we get to the Team ISO, last but not least, the Golden Knights. They're playing so well, so well, and now it seems like they might hit a brick wall. Fleury gets injured, and now Malcolm Subban is now injured. He's gone for at least 4 weeks. Wow. They called up their AHL goalies, and Oscar Donsk, if you want to, is looking like their starter now. And who is it? Maxime Legas is probably the backup. So their AHL guys are now their NHL guys.
If you need any more help, right here.
Yeah, sign Conner. All right, let's get into some compare. Of course, if you watched the show last year, you'll know that we pretty much did a versus compare. Pick a player versus player, roughly 1 minute timed. We're going to go a little more loose this week because Connor explained your new version of the compare.
Well, this is Compare 2.0, so yes, we each pick one player, but instead of just comparing them as players, we take a little more in-depth look at it. If I was a said GM, I'd like to pick a player to build a franchise around, and then another player as a fantasy GM, and which I would draft higher in my fantasy draft to give me the optimal chance to win, like I always do. Peter, you ready to rock?
All right, let's do this. Who are your first two players, and what are we franchise points?
Well, let's go our first debate. Obviously, we'll start up front. Everyone's talking about it. Crosby versus McDavid. And we'll start, we'll put our GM caps on. Start thinking of more of a franchise base. So, Peter, you want to take the first reins here?
All right, since Connor decided to go with this new 2.0 style and decided to tell me who he's picking right before we started shooting, I got...
Strategy.
I'm not going to go there, but I got second chances. Yes, I get stuck with the second guy that maybe I would have liked to have the first dibs. But anyways, let's go with Sid the Kid. For a franchise player, no, he's going with Kid. I get stuck with McDavid, of course.
Stuck with.
No, but seriously though, McDavid is a great franchise player. How can you not go with McDavid? If you compare Crosby's beginning of his career to McDavid's, they both were above a point per game. And again, we don't know. McDavid could have been even better if he didn't get injured. But they were above a point per game player. They were both -1. The second season, they both were even better. A better point per game player. And as well, McDavid was +27 and Crosby was only +10. And then if you compare teams, Crosby was playing with Lemieux. Who is McDavid playing with? Maybe sometimes Draisaitl, but most of the time with my boy Lucic. But again, he's not a big guy that's going to put up a lot of points. He cruises a bit, but he gives you more of that physical game. Not a lot of points. So if you're comparing team and if you're comparing eras, McDavid has to be the better franchise player so far in his early career.
Well, I have to go with Sidney Crosby. It's a proven fact. Crosby's won 3 Stanley Cups. He's a franchise player. He is the face of the Penguins franchise, has been since arriving. Yes, he played with Mario Lemieux. Okay, that may bump his numbers up a bit. Still won 2 gold medals, captained Canada to one of those gold medals, scored the game-winning goal in the other one. And when you think about the NHL, the modern NHL, players look up to Sidney Crosby. He is the guy that the next guy wants to be. Connor McDavid wants to be the next Sidney Crosby. So who better to build your team around? He makes players around him better. Whether it was Kunitz 5 years ago or if it's Brendan Russ this year. He makes everyone on his team around him and better. And to 164 points in 148 postseason games. The guy gets it done in the playoffs. Sidney Crosby.
So Crosby makes players better, right?
Yeah.
Maybe a recent flop, people could say, was Nail Yakupov. And how well was Nail Yakupov playing at the beginning of last year with, say, McDavid?
Patrick Maroon plays well with McDavid. I mean, look, they both make players better, but it's a proven, to this point, if I'm building my franchise around anyone, I'm building it around Sidney Crosby. He's got the resume. He's got the statistics. He's only 30 years old. He's got another 5 years left in the tank. Yes, McDavid has the longevity, and you can have him for 10 more years. Mm-hmm. But he doesn't have that proven leadership through the postseason. He has never won on an Olympic level, and honestly, sadly, may not get the opportunity to, but Crosby has. So that's just another round in the ammunition. That's it.
You're not giving him a chance. And how is he going to get the chance if they don't have it?
He's not going to get the chance.
So then it's a moot point.
It's not. No,
moot point. I think it's a moot point. And again,
Crosby goes up against the best in the world. Is named captain and scores the game-winning goal in 2010. Captain 2014 Sochi. Canada dominates. He even made Kunitz look good at that Olympics.
Maybe not so much. I don't know.
Oh, that last goal against the Americans, that goal, that
pretty invisible
goal.
I think.
Anyway, he went bar down. So,
did they just show up for the last game? I think pretty much maybe. All right, let's move on to then the fantasy version. You wanted to switch. You took McDavid.
I did take Connor McDavid.
I took Crosby then, of course. What do you have then?
Well, why I took Connor McDavid, when you're not looking about building a franchise around, I'm not looking at winning a championship with my club. I'm looking at my fantasy team. Connor McDavid was the only player last season to break the 100-point plateau. He's the clear choice for the fastest player in the league. He's got unbelievable vision, and as you said, he makes everyone around him better. He steps up. Draisaitl, yes, he's injured right now, but McDavid is still producing without him. McDavid has 8 points in the first 7 games this season, so he's off to a solid start, and I don't see him slowing down. Another 100-point season, well, maybe that's a stretch with how the Oilers are playing, but if I have the first overall pick in my fantasy, I'm taking McDavid number 1.
A big category in fantasy, most leagues, is, sadly but true, plus minus. Crosby has the Penguins. Crosby's already off to a good start. His plus minus, and I have to go with maybe even down the stretch, maybe even next year, is great, and it will be great, especially versus McDavid's on his Oilers. I don't see that being a huge stat category. And then total points, I really don't feel they'll be far off. I feel, yes, McDavid might be slightly better than Crosby in total points by the end of the season. Crosby still might be better. We don't know. It'll be close. But yes, I think McDavid will slightly be better than Crosby, but then he'll edge him out with those big plus-minus points.
Well, that's why I love this 2.0 version where you add the fantasy debate, because obviously the Oilers are off to such a poor start, but if the shoe was on the other foot and they were off to a great start, well, then it's clear-cut McDavid. So I do respect that argument, but it's a long season. It's a long season. They played maybe, some teams have played 8 games. That's 10%, a little less than 10% of their season. And I just see with longevity, when the Oilers just start to click again, I don't really see the too big a difference. I get the Penguins are the best team in hockey, but the Penguins also play in the toughest division. They're going to see teams like the Rangers, who are off to a bad start. Honestly, they're off to a terrible start. But they get the Capitals, they get the Blue Jackets, they get the Metropolitan. Whereas the Oilers, well, they get to deal with Phoenix, they get to deal out in the Pacific, they get to deal with Phoenix, they get to deal with Vegas.
Yeah.
So throughout the season, I think the Oilers have an easier track, and I think that'll help McDavid's point totals. And I think he'll win the goal battle. He'll win the assist battle. Power play points, he is the main source of production on the Oilers power play, whereas the Penguins, they can go one punch Crosby, the second equally good punch down the middle is Malkin. So I just feel McDavid, from a fantasy point of view, will get himself in more positions on the Oilers to get points.
You sound like you did some research.
Maybe a little bit.
All right, let's move on to defensemen. You gave me first pick for defensemen, and it's pretty close in some areas here. Of course, for the first one, we're going to go with the franchise option, and I am going to go with the best defenseman. It is Erik Karlsson. I've said time and time again, he is the ultimate MVP. He is the most valuable for any team in the NHL, more valuable than McDavid or Crosby to his team. The Senators need Karlsson more than the Pens need Crosby or the Oilers need McDavid, in my opinion. When he is on the ice, he eats up way more ice time than those two players, or even a guy like Chewbacca. Give me one of those Chewies. Yeah, so he eats up way too much ice time, and he is good on all ends of the ice. I know a lot of people say he's not so good in his own end. No, he's great in his own end. He's one of the best takeaway defensemen in his own end. He is the best breakout defenseman and pass-out defenseman in the entire league. Karlsson, the best franchise defenseman in the NHL today.
Well, when I'm taking a look at franchise defensemen, I want somebody that has proven himself on multiple franchises, and that is Brent Burns. Brent Burns proved himself on Minnesota, now goes over to San Jose. He's playing the best hockey of his career, and now he's on the other side of 30. Over the last 2 seasons, 2 back-to-back 75-point campaigns, 29 goals last year before 27 goals. The guy can score. And not only that, he's a beauty. He'll sell you jerseys. Fans want to come see him play. Yes, Karlsson looks good, and he skates well, and he plays good hockey. He does not have the off-ice personality that Brent Burns can bring to your franchise and your fan base. So, with that being said, on the ice, no, Burns is not as good a skater as Karlsson. No, he doesn't have the vision or the passing, but he's got a better shot. He's bigger and stronger. He'll hit. He'll take penalty minutes. He'll eat up the penalty kill. And to be honest with you, he's just a bigger beauty. So if I'm taking a guy to build my franchise around from the blue line, I'm taking good old Canadian boy, Brent Burns.
Because he's a beauty.
Because he's a beauty.
All right.
Sell tickets.
All right. Let's get straight into the fantasy option. And we're going to go with the same players in the same picks for each of us. I've got Erik Karlsson again, fantasy-wise. And again, the thing I love to mention is, again, plus-minus. Ottawa is so underrated, especially because of Erik Karlsson. He's going to give you that plus-minus that Ottawa needs. And the team is actually a pretty good team. So, it just, in my opinion, fantasy-wise, Karlsson is back so quick, so early, too. And that kind of tricked me. And when we did our projections before the season, I actually had Burns slightly edging out because I actually thought Karlsson was going to miss at least about a month. He only missed, 5 games? He's a god, as you would say. Yep. He's inhuman, as I would say, because I love my superhero shows. He should be on Marvel's Inhuman. He's amazing. Super healing. Yes, he gets injured sometimes, but he gets right back, like within seconds or something. I don't know what he's on. He's amazing. Again, 6 points, 3 games already this season. He's outstanding. He's got to be the best defenseman, especially in points too.
Matching up fantasy category for category, I got it. It's Brent Burns. Brent Burns will win in goals. Karlsson will win in assists, hits, penalty minutes, shots on goal, blocks. I give all 4 of those categories to Brent Burns. And no, I'm not chirping Karlsson's ability to block shots. I really am not. But what I'm saying is, when games get gritty, you see Brent Burns literally blocking pucks with his face. The guy is missing his front teeth because of it. Brent Burns gets down, blocks your shots, wins you that fantasy category. He'll take a penalty minute, drop the gloves. There's an extra 5 minutes in that category if it's in your league. I don't think it should be, but anyway.
And blocks too?
Hits?
I don't know. Blocks.
Oh, I like having blocks.
You have blocks in like all your leagues, or how many?
Two out of my 4.
2 out of 4.
I'm not the commissioner. But anyway, back to my point.
I've never had blocks in my league. Continue.
29 goals versus under 15. I mean, the guy, from a fantasy perspective, Brent Burns is the guy that will round out the most amount of points.
And if you check in previous years, Karlsson usually edges out Burns.
In assists.
And in total fantasy categories overall.
Last season.
Yeah. All right, let's go to goalies. Connor, who's your franchise goalie?
Franchise goalie has to be Carey Price. No, he hasn't won a Stanley Cup, but he's a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. And when you talk about goaltending, you talk about Carey Price. He is the guy that everyone else wants to measure up to around the world. He is a staple point of consistency through his career. Yes, he had those 2 seasons where Halak came in, stole his thunder. Price literally said he changed his diet up. He got more confidence in himself. And since that time, he has been lights out. In 516 career games, he's got a save percentage of over .920. He's just 29 wins shy of 300 wins in his career. And just having Carey Price in your net, in your pipes, makes your forwards, gives them that, okay, we got Carey Price back there. I'm a little more relaxed. I can make that extra pass, try to put the puck in the net. And on the other side of the ice, you're going down as a shooter. Oh, crap, I'm shooting on Carey Price. I have to be that much more fine. I have to go that much closer to the corner. You may hit a post. You may miss the net. So it's just a mental game that Carey Price brings around, and it's the respect that he commands that makes him my choice for the best franchise option from the goaltending perspective.
I've got Sergei Bobrovsky. And you know what? Bob is outstanding. He's got 2 Vezinas. And in his, especially the first year, 4 years ago when he won the Vezina, what defense did he have on the back end? You're talking about Carey Price giving his team the room where they can play more offensively. Bobrovsky had no defense, and he won the Vezina. He is outstanding. You're comparing Carey Price playing in front of Team Canada. Put Carey Price in front of Team Russia. He will not have won any Olympic medals. If they play a different game, they don't...
Blasphemy.
Yeah, the Russians talking. But they don't play a team game. They don't play a defensive game very well, the Russians. That's why they can't play well on the world stage. They need to change that. But again, Bobrovsky has no chance at winning any of those medals in front of that team. And easily the same thing for Carey Price. If he was playing for, say, Team Russia or another team outside of Canada, he would not have won. If Bobrovsky was playing for Team Canada, he would have won those gold medals for sure as well, in my opinion. And again, he's playing well this year too. He's got 927 save percentage. He won the Vezina again last year. You mentioned earlier, you were talking about how Pittsburgh has to play all the time against these competitive contenders. The Rangers, you mentioned, the Capitals, and who else did you mention that is a contender? The Blue Jackets. Why are they a contender? Bobrovsky. There's no way in my mind that Columbus is even near the fact to where they are or where they would have been, especially last year with him being the Vezina champion and almost getting the MVP as well. They're there without Sergei.
I'm not knocking on Sergei Bobrovsky at all, but let's not forget Sergei Bobrovsky also got pulled out of Philly from Michael Neuvirth. He's not Neuvirth. No, but the thing is, when I'm looking at a franchise goaltender, I want a guy that's had consistency and proven consistency. Yes, Carey Price did have those stumbles, but it was 2 years of bad play. That was it.
Currently, Price is really bad.
The Canadians are a terrible team, and he's the only reason why they're maybe competitive. Maybe, if you want to say maybe. The Blue Jackets have the better team this year. That's why Bobrovsky's numbers are better. They've locked everything down defensively. Yes, he stood on his head last year. But I think when it comes to building a franchise around the consistency, staple points, I want Carey Price in my net.
I would be good with Bobrovsky. All right, and then fantasy-wise, you're switching it up on me because you don't think Price is good at all in the fantasy. So I've got to pick Price on fantasy, and the Habs suck. Yep. And Price is not good anymore because he hasn't been the last year and a half.
He was unreal last year.
Was he?
Yeah, he was pretty good.
I don't know. But let's just say he gave me the bad option, and he killed me on this. I'm not going to win because Price is going to be bad on fantasy this year. I'm actually going against with what I said in my season predictions because I actually had Montreal kind of high. It's the Habs. But again, I do think if they catch this early enough, if the Habs actually go and make a quick move, and they might, this is my hot take, they might fire either Bergevin or Claude Julien, and maybe they can turn it around fast enough and Habs can still be a top contender. Price needs to turn it around, and then if he does, the rest of the Habs will turn around, and then he'll get a lot of wins again and some shutouts and still be good fantasy-wise. But it's hinging on that big factor, in my opinion. And Ken, tell me why you left me with Price.
That's a pretty easy choice. Sergei Bobrovsky, obviously, as you said, won the Vezina last year, but that doesn't really matter in fantasy. What matters is he was the only goalie with over a 930 save percentage. It was actually at 931. As you said, he's at 927 this year. Clearly keeping his game going. He's already got one shutout this season, finished with 7 last year. 2 very good categories. Goals against average is a little higher than some of the goaltenders in the league. But again, he plays in that Metro division that we keep boasting and talking about because it really does deserve that much credit. There are some great goal scorers, arguably the best in hockey, are in that division. So when you look at this from a fantasy perspective, Bobrovsky's going to get more wins because, as you said, the Canadians are terrible. The Jackets could possibly be a contender. Price is going to get less shutouts due to that exact same reason. Until Montreal can figure out what they're doing defensively, which was a shock to me because I also had them finishing quite high, because of their defense, because I thought Shea Weber and Carey Price had all that chemistry. Well, clearly I was wrong. The clear pick is Sergei Bobrovsky. If I go into fantasy right now, I would draft Bobrovsky 10 times out of 10 over Price simply because of the teams in front of him. And I think you nailed it on the head. I was mean. I got to pick that one first, and I'm going to take Sergei every time.
All right, so when we do this compare again, stay tuned for the revenge of Peter. Here's our Leafs version of the friendly bet for this season. Will Austin Matthews score a lot of goals or
A lot.
goals? All right, where's he at so far this year?
Matthews has 7 goals in his first 8 games.
Wow. And our Twitter poll, again, at Jablam Hockey. How many goals will Austin Matthews score this season? We had 4 options. There's a low option, the plus 26, 0 votes. Plus 33, there's 7 goal increments. I wasn't sure how to get this going, but plus 33 plus, 35% of the vote. Pretty good. 40 plus goals, 40% of the vote. And 47 plus goals, 25% of the vote. So 40 was the general population's answer. Connor, where do you see McDavid finishing?
McDavid or Matthews?
Sorry, Matthews. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the no internet. This has been a trying episode for us. But Austin Matthews, I'm in that 40%. Did you say that's 40 goals? Yeah, I'm with the 40 goals. I think for the Leafs to be successful, he shouldn't have more than 47 goals. I think they need some more balanced scoring. Obviously, if he wants to go out and score 47 goals, I'm not gonna complain. I love watching good hockey, and he's 7 goals in 8 games. He could certainly do it, but I honestly think there'll be a rough patch somewhere along this season comes. He'll get cold for a bit. I don't see it lasting long. He's such an explosive player he's a big guy with such a low center of gravity that I don't see him getting into a huge slump, but a little above 47 just seems like a stretch for me.
Okay. Where is your exact number? Think about that for a quick second. Wow, I was watching him play versus the Kings, and I watch him every game. Man, for such a big kid, he's so good at protecting the puck, but at the same time being able to still stick, handle, and dangle at the same time while still protecting the puck. And again, I love his takeaways and his hand-to-eye. Hand-to-eye? Yeah. Skills. Magnificent. Again, the other day, those goals that he scored against, was it Montreal?
He scored against almost everyone he's played against.
Amazing.
Except for tonight.
Okay.
The pick is, I'm going with 42 goals.
42?
I think 42 will be a good year for Matthews.
And I went with 44. I wrote down 44. So he's going below 43. I'm going above 43. And a 43 would be exact tie in the friendly bet. We'll post this on jablamhockey.com. Check out our old friendly bet, who won that one. And then let's move on to Saturday's picks, which we also have on our website, jablamhockey.com. And we usually try to tweet it out by Saturday on at jablamhockey. What's your game of the week for Saturday?
Game of the week, I like the Ducks heading down to the Bay. The Ducks are in Tampa Bay. I think there's 2 great goaltenders. John Gibson is a stud in the pipes. He's proven that. And then Andrei Vasilevsky has made me look so foolish. I did not believe in this guy at all. He's now 7 wins on the year, so that's going to be one stellar game.
Thank you. Hi to my friend Valencio. I made a move and traded Dubnyk and a pretty good second player to get Vasilevsky. I was so upset I didn't get either Bobrovsky and Vasilevsky. I both picked them to do very well this year and play even better than people project them to. And I got him. I'm really thrilled. He's a great goalie. He deserves it. I still expect Tampa, and what are they right now? 8-2 or something? They're amazing. They're going to finish at the top of the division, just like I predicted. And Vasilevsky is going to be the main reason. So again, that was one of my picks to watch this weekend, but They're amazing. And again, you have to go and watch Kucherov. I think he stopped his goal scoring streak, but it was at like
him and Stamkos right now.
1-2 punch.
It's absolutely absurd what they've been able to cook up down there in Tampa Bay. They're off to a way better start than I had them. I think I had them finishing third overall. I like them to finish second. I do like the Leafs to win that division though.
It's gonna be close.
As for another game that you should keep a close eye on that I will surely be watching, I like the New Jersey Devils at home against the Arizona Coyotes. Not the most prestigious teams to watch, but Brian Boyle will be back on the ice, and just the fight against cancer, I've lost some family members to it. I'm really in the Boyle corner, and plus the Devils are playing great hockey, so it should be exciting to see some young talent go head-to-head.
Oh, yeah. They've got some great kids now in Arizona to go with the underrated Oliver Ekman-Larsson, who's one of my favorites. But Keller and the rest of them, they're going to be a good team to watch. I really feel so. I don't know how good the game is going to be on Saturday because my big game is the physical Flyers, who are off to a very good start this season.
Surprising.
And that led by the Ghost Bear, or as I like to call him, Gotta Be Here. That was my nickname before they figured out this one. It's Shane Gostis Bear. You don't like that nickname? No, not so much.
I gotta be here. Like I see the translation, but Gostis Bear, Ghost Bear, the emoji thing.
I love it. I love the fans that are putting the Ghost Bear on the back of the Flyers jersey.
It's pretty cool. And yeah, as you were saying, just want to throw in there, Ghost Bear's in the top 10 in scoring to start the year.
Yeah, he's amazing. I got him on I only have 2 fantasy teams. I got him on my other one. Great. I got him and Provorov. They're great. They're a great tandem, and I think the Flyers are underrated this year, and they might still be pretty good, but I don't know if they'll be great. But the Leafs should have the edge on Saturday and should have a big edge in terms of the season output. So I'm picking the Leafs in that game.
They're on home ice. They have the better goaltending. Obviously, you got to get.
I don't know. Anderson's
been shaky. Okay, on paper they have the better goaltending. Yes, Anderson's been shaky, and Neuvirth has been lights out in Philly. So it's been tough. But I think Brian Elliott is slated. He's been good too, but I think he's slated to start Saturday night. So I just think Leafs momentum. Austin Matthews, hit him with the 4.
Nice. All right, and before we leave, I wanted to give a quick thank you. And this thank you goes out to our loyal listeners. You guys have been listening on the podcast for over 2 years. Now we've got the YouTube show. Please check it out. Before I really get into it, I want our loyal listeners to go and use the hashtags. Hashtag Jablam, hashtag JHockey, hashtag Jablam Hockey, or tweet us at Jablam Hockey, or even email us directly. That's jablamhockey@gmail.com. Currently, until we transfer everything to our new website and new contact information, please ask us anything. What do you like about the show so far? Do you like the Team ISOs? Do you not like the Saturday's picks as much? Do you really not want to hear about Connor's weird life?
Did my Compare 2.0 work? Do you like me? Do you want to wish me happy birthday? It's my birthday, by the way.
Yes. I was going to say that at the end of the show. Go and wish Connor a happy birthday. Again, you can reach him on his Twitter account at @TheSportTree. And again, thank you to our fans. And please go out and listen, watch, and read us on JablamHockey.com. And again, thank you for watching our shows. That's it for this episode.
Well, thank you, everyone. Thanks for the birthday wishes. Peter, say goodnight.
Say goodnight, Peter.